Hello and welcome back to this episode of your Kingsport blog video update. I'm Jeff Fleming, City Manager for the City of Kingsport, and I'd like to give you a quick update on what happened at the last board meeting and some of the current items that are going on here at City Hall. First of all, the Sullivan Street Widening project is about to get underway. It'll be the 1st of June. It'll be about 180 days that it'll be in process. As part of that project, we're going to widen Sullivan Street from Hammond Avenue to Church Circle, and then we're going to repave Church Circle as part of the project. We're not changing anything about Church Circle other than just paving it, but it does need a fresh coat of asphalt to even out some of the bumps. The way that Church Circle is situated, most folks, if you asked, I think would say it's relatively flat, but in fact it's tilted at an angle, the churches being uphill and downtown being downhill. So when larger vehicles travel around the circle over time, they push the asphalt to the side and it causes ripples and bumps in the asphalt. So the ultimate solution would be to concrete the circle and make some more permanent modifications, but that's an extremely costly measure, and so we could repave it for several times before we could justify concrete work. So we'll continue to keep the ultimate solution in mind long term, but for the short term we want to get a fresh coat of pavement on Church Circle and make it a more pleasurable driving experience. On Sullivan Street itself, it will be 3 lanes. We will be removing the overhead power lines and getting those underground. It will consolidate several driveways on the south side, and it will add sidewalks and pedestrian mobility paths on both sides so that pedestrians can have access to the street as well. And at First Baptist Church, there on the corner of Clay and Sullivan and Charlemont, there is a traffic signal that we will be removing. Now, we have an agreement with First Baptist Church that after they complete their sanctuary or their building modifications, they're doing a major construction project, bringing the building out to the corner of Sullivan and Clay, and they expect a lot of pedestrian traffic crossing at that location. But at this point in time, we don't forecast that there is a mandatory need for a traffic signal, so that means it would be discretionary. But in good faith to the church, we basically said, hey, if you realize after opening your new building that this is causing you problems not having a traffic signal, we will set aside money, and we have, to go back and put the signal in. So we'll go ahead and get the conduit in the ground, get all the everything ready in case we need to do that. But we're going to be installing a raised crosswalk, which there is already one in place at Clinchfield Street between the Regional Center for Health Professions and the Regional Center for Advanced Manufacturing, where it's basically like a speed bump with a pedestrian crosswalk built in. So every car that passes down Sullivan Street will have to cross this raised crosswalk. So by default, it becomes a 24/7 traffic calming device, because you will slow down to cross that crosswalk. When you have a traffic signal, you have to wait for it to be triggered, and sometimes you're sitting in a signal when there's no other cars there. So we believe this will be a much more efficient and effective way of doing this. But like I said, we do have that escape clause with First Baptist. If it doesn't work out, we'll go back and put that signal back in. We're also working on Kingsport Centennial Park, located at the end of the train station, the old freight station, at the corner of Cherokee and Main Street. Most folks know it as a gravel parking lot that is across the street from Citizen Supply. It's across the street from The Social, which is formerly Hibbert Davis, and Main Street Pizza, and it's also adjacent to Sleepy Owl Brewery, which is the old Chamber of Commerce area. There is a large concrete loading dock that has existed since the time that the Clinchfield Railroad used that freight station. It is now owned by the city, and so we have worked with the Centennial Commission to begin to develop plans for that space to leave a Centennial Legacy project. The Board of Mayor and Aldermen put $348,000 of seed money in place, and the Kingsport Community Foundation has pledged to raise a matching amount and hopefully more. But we are developing a plan that can have features that can be removed or added as funds are available. So we will do this project within budget and in time for our centennial celebration in 2017. but we can expand it if there are if additional monies that come available from donations. So we're hopeful that as that campaign project begins, that folks will get excited about it and perhaps contribute. And so, but if we don't, then we'll make a very nice park, but it'll be within budget. So excited about that. We also set aside money for Preston Forest Park several years ago. Preston Forest donated private land, which was their community park, to the city as a city park. So it is available to the public, and it's no longer a private park. They also pledged $15,000, and the city agreed to match with $25,000 so that some playground equipment can be installed at that location. And again, that's accessible to the public, and it is a great community partnership with that neighborhood. There was a similar partnership with Ridgefield's neighborhood, where they did a private fundraising project, and the city used some state funds to match it. And we were able to improve Ridgefield's Park at the corner of Chippendale and Fleetwood. So looking forward to that. Library renovations. Several years ago, there was a $12 million library addition that was identified in a library study. We have not been able to fully fund that at this point, so we are systematically going back and doing a couple of $100,000 here, $300,000 there. So it's very much more manageable projects. But we're freshening up the library space, basically one room at a time, and everything that we're doing will support that addition if and when we're able to make that addition in the future. But in the meantime, it allows us to progress without having to just wait for a major capital investment and have a library that we can all be proud of. So really proud of the way that Helen Whitaker and the Library Commission has worked tirelessly to make this happen. And again, we'll get there, taking one small step at a time, but we will get there. New pedestrian bridge planned at Reedy Creek Terrace. Reedy Creek Terrace is the shopping center that contains Panera and Starbucks, as well as Reedy Creek Bicycles. If you notice on the back of Reedy Creek Bicycles, there is a ramp that comes out the back door and it goes down to the back parking lot. We will be picking up and doing a pedestrian bridge to cross Reedy Creek so that folks can either from the Greenbelt can walk across and grab a coffee or something to eat, maybe visit one of the retail shops over there, or someone who has had their bike worked on at Reedy Creek Bicycles can hop on the Greenbelt and go either way, a total of 9 miles across town. So little connections like that can make a huge difference, and that was made possible through our stormwater funds. The property directly behind Reedy Creek Terrace is a wetlands, and Roger Ball donated that to our stormwater program, so we're able to take credit for that with the state to illustrate that we're meeting our goals of preserving stormwater and wetlands, basically. Colonial Heights Sewer, we made the first major capital investment to begin the process of installing sewer in the annexed areas of Colonial Heights. That's in the Kendrick Creek and Meadow Lane section of Colonial Heights. So we are on time and on budget with that process, and I'm very happy to say that we have not been late on any of our annexation commitments for many, many years. The Tennessee Municipal League was asking recently how much cities had invested in annexation areas over 10 years. And I went and pulled our capital spreadsheet and did a quick summary. And I guess I surprised even myself to learn that we've spent $50 million in annexed areas in the past 10 years. That includes projects like John Adams School, Fire Station 7 at Rock Springs, as well as road improvements. We improved Rock Springs Road, and water and sewer improvements. So there's been much more than sometimes we're able to identify, with our memory, but just by looking at the actual numbers. The budget presentation is coming up May 12th on Tuesday. The school board passed their budget last night with no increase in city funding and with a constrained capital plan. So we have worked very closely with schools, and I'm very proud of the relationship that we have developed, and I really am thankful to them that we're able to march forward together, making some of these tough choices and managing our way through this budget process. So it's going to be a very constrained budget. There will be no tax increase proposed, and there will be a water rate increase proposed, but that is a part of our ongoing plan. It's required to be able to keep up with our commitments on improving the water system. As I remind the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, when we're talking about the general fund, they are representing the citizens of the city only in the city limits. When they're dealing with the water fund, they're dealing with they're representing all of their water customers, which includes people from Fall Branch and Geraldstown all the way up to Central High School and up into Lynn Garden. So it's a much larger geography. And then when they talk about sewer, it's an even different geography. So one of the things that makes our city so appealing in terms of cost is there is one board that considers the impact of all those costs. And so I call it an all-inclusive, if you will. They do the Board of Mayor and Aldermen does yeoman's work in managing this process going forward. So again, I'm looking forward to successful budget preparation and then moving into the next year. Also, just to remind everybody, the election's coming up. Early voting is underway now. We have 5 candidates for mayor and 10 for alderman. There will be there's 3 seats available on the Board of Mayor and Aldermen and 1 mayor's seat. So we look forward to you exercising your right to vote, no matter who you choose to vote for. Just please get out and vote. We've historically had a very low turnout here in Kingsport, and so it's something that a lot of folks have died to give us the right to do. So please exercise that right and visit your polling place either at the Civic Auditorium before Election Day or at your polling place on Election Day. Again, this is Jeff Fleming. This is your quick update, and look forward to seeing you soon.